Is it hard to talk and quilt at the same time?
Evidently. Quilting has been going on for a lot longer than just making these kinds of quilts. People made quilts for warmth instead of having just one layer of fabric on themselves. Then they began to make bed covers, and there were quilts made in England, medallion kinds of quilts, similar to what I'm doing here. Then it came to the United States and we started making medallion quilts. So far as I know, that's how we got started. When I go to a quilt shop, I stand about 12 feet away, and whatever I can, if I'm looking at the fabrics and I can see the print on the fabric, that's the fabric I'll buy. I prefer patterned fabrics more than solids because they add more character. When I'm going to make something, I'll make a mock-up. In other words, I'll cut out all the leaves and put them down like I want them. And then I'll look at it, and if I like it, then I'll finish it. When I first started quilting, there were people who could make a quilt in a week. But I didn't like their quilts. So I decided that I wouldn't worry about how long it took. I would just make it until I was finished. Some have taken as long as 10 months. It depends on how big it is and how much quilting I'm going to have to do on it. The quilting takes the longest amount of time. Irish Eyes, it's a green and pink quilt. And the reason I like it is I made it for my son who has green eyes. And he has this complexion that makes him look very beautiful in pink. His grandmother made him a little pink suit when he was about a year old. And he was the cutest thing in that pink suit. And nobody ever thought he was a girl. I mean, he had boyish features. So Irish Eyes is for him. I love the naming of the quilts. That's another thing I enjoy doing, is trying to make something that means something. All of my grandchildren's and children's quilts are here at this house because I can't part with them yet. They'll get them when I'm gone. This quilt is called Conway Album, I'm Not from Baltimore. There are a whole group of quilts known as Baltimore album quilts. So this is my idea of a Baltimore album quilt, but since I'm from Conway, I called it Conway Album, I'm Not from Baltimore. It was kind of a little quilter's joke. I started doing it because I was called to jury duty, and I did not want to go sit in the courthouse for hours and hours on end with nothing to do. So I cut out the pieces for the block up there in the right-hand corner, and I continued to do it all that day, and lo and behold, I finished the block that day. It's nice when they win a ribbon, and I've won some really big ones. The first one was for Conway Album, I'm Not from Baltimore, and it won the Best Hand Workmanship Award in Paducah, and $10,000. Joe, my husband, was thrilled with the $10,000, but it meant that I had to give the museum my quilt, and that nearly killed me. When it's complete, that is the best part. I enjoy the designing. I enjoy the applique for the first month and the quilting for about the first month. But after 7 months of quilting the same thing over and over again, it's not very much fun. But when it's finished, then I'm just so excited. And I just put it on the bed and I look at it and look at it and look at it. So any quilt that gets finished, I think, is a winner, whether it wins a ribbon or not.